episode of Modelville, which is our reality show within the Tyra show. I've brought 5 of your favorite top models who did not win the competition, but we brought them to New York City to give them another chance at living their dream. And they're going all out to win a $50,000 contract to become one of the spokesmodels for Carol's Daughter. Now, Carol's Daughter is the company that sells amazing luxury products. They're a great company. Now, it didn't take long for things in the Modelville house to start getting intense. Very intense. Check this out.
Everybody goes through things, and I went through some horrible things when I was growing up, and it made me very angry and bitter and just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I just get angry with people, you know, like that was my mentality.
What did you go through?
I was extremely abused when I was growing up, and it wasn't just physical, it was mental, emotional, it was everything. And my dad was like a pastor and a police officer, so there was like another dynamic added on top of it.
I'm sorry to cut you. I'm baffled by this. What did your mom do?
My mom, like, she was so scared, and she just kept praying that God would change him. And God doesn't change people who don't want to change.
Everybody's life sucks. I mean, yeah. My grandfather raped me when I was like 12, 13, whatever, you know? And then I told my mom immediately when it happened, but still it took its toll because I had to figure out things, because you lose trust of your family, and then you lose trust of males, and every relationship I've had has been up because you think of that moment every time, and you get scared and you freak out, and I don't know, it's kind of up.
Wow. I knew something happened to you, Lauren, but I did not know that.
Yeah.
But I remember when you auditioned for America's Next Top Model, I saw somebody that was wounded and hurt, but I thought it was just an awkward girl that was just, you know, getting made fun of for not, you know, being the cheerleader type. I didn't know that it was something so drastic. What made you feel safe enough to share that with the girls?
I mean, all the girls were very similar, and we're all strong despite all the bad stuff that's happened to us. So we overcome it, and I felt like it was a good opportunity to say that, and it helped us bond.
Wow. We'll be right back.
Extremely abused when I was growing up, and it wasn't just physical, it was mental, emotional, it was everything. And my dad was like a pastor and a police officer, so there was like another dynamic added on top of it.
I'm sorry to cut you. I'm baffled by this. What did your mom do?
My mom, like, she was so scared, and she just kept praying that God would change him. And God doesn't change people who don't want to change.
We're checking out the action on Modelville, our first ever reality show within the Tyra show. And their time on Top Model is over, and they didn't come out as winners, but Bianca, Renee, Dominique, Lauren, and Fatima are here in New York City competing for a second chance. And this time, the prize is a $50,000 contract to be a representative for the phenomenally successful beauty product company, Carol's Daughter. Renee, we just saw Renee speaking about the pain and the abuse that you had gone through with your father. And I remember on Top Model you did speak about it, but you didn't speak about it in the detail that I know you're going to speak about it today. When you were young, your father used to say negative things to you. What would he say to you?
Well, I was always stupid, and I was always ugly, and I was always smelly or whatever insult he could like find for the moment.
And what's the first, do you remember the first time he hit you?
No,
in a way?
That was, I mean, that's been since I was little.
Always.
Like really little, yeah.
Well, the conversation continued in the Modelville house, and things got really heated between the girls.
What did your mom say?
I mean, I'm very close with my mom, and she knows how hard it was for me, but...
No, but what did she do? Like, I listened, like, I swear I asked Renee, like, I could never, and you guys are moms. Like, my mom would die for me. Like, if my mom used to tell us, like, if someone touches you, and this is when I was little, she tells this to my little sister, someone touches you in an inappropriate way, tell me first. She doesn't care if it's her boyfriend, her husband, her father, anybody. That's your kids. Like, what the, that bothers me. How
Well, my
dare
mom,
you?
like, she tried to leave, and my dad, like, pulled guns out on her. It's too much. Like, you can't ever understand it until you're in the situation.
I can't understand it.
'Cause I'm done with this conversation now.
What's wrong?
I don't like people talking about my mom. I'm sorry. She went through as much as I went through, and she had as much hard things to go through as me. And you can't just sit there and judge her because you weren't there. You don't understand.
I'm not judging your mom, and that's when
But you are, because you're saying, how could your mom let you do that?
I'm not gonna argue with you because you chose to tell your story and share it right now, and I'm giving you my own opinion. And I can get loud and do all that, but
Your opinion, Bianca. You never been through half the shit I've been through or half the shit my mom's been through. And you're sitting there trying to judge my mother. You don't know what she went through. You don't know the kind of time, how many times she tried to leave.
Okay, Renee.
You won't understand it, Bianca. And for you to sit there and judge her mom and judge my mom like they're horrible people because they didn't stop it, they have their own issues to deal with.
I'm not gonna argue with you because it doesn't seem like
because I'm walking away now.
It doesn't seem like a fair fight, but go ahead.
You got really upset, Renee. Tell me what was going through your mind and your body and your spirit.
I just felt like I like Bianca, but I just felt when she said, like, you know, my mom would die for me, as if my mother wouldn't. And the only difference is if my mom died for me, I would be left with my dad. And that'd be all, you know, and she really had to, she struggled a lot with it, but the religion and just everything. So I felt like she was saying, my mom's better than your mom, because my mom would never let me go through this, when that wasn't. My mom didn't choose for us to be in that situation. She didn't marry him knowing that he was like that.
What were you saying, Bianca, when you were...
Yeah, and I apologize to Renee's mom if that came off in a way where I was judging you guys, but to me, we were all sitting around talking and sharing, and I was really, honestly and sincerely confused, and I've never been in that situation, and I just wanted to know what was going on. Like, I was just asking a question, and I felt like Renee was hurt, and that's why she yelled at me. But I didn't feel like she was yelling at me. She was yelling about the situation. That's why I didn't argue back and forth.
Do you feel you were being insensitive?
I didn't feel like I was being insensitive. I honestly and truly have never been in that situation, and I don't have anyone in my family that have been through that situation. So I just wanted to know, because I only know what my mom taught us.
With you watching Renee's mother, Sandra, with you watching that, what were you thinking when Bianca was going at Renee like that?
Well, you know, Bianca, I mean, I can really understand why Bianca would say something like that. A lot of people don't understand why abusive homes function the way they do. My children were very much afraid of my former husband. They were afraid that he would retaliate and kill us all, and no one would know. We lived in this very secluded area up in northern Michigan. It was a very small county.
Our neighbors were like
Our
miles
neighbors
away.
were, you know, a mile away. Things run through your head. After someone pulls you off the side of the road and they hold you at gunpoint, you don't know what's going through their heads. You don't know. He would be one way one minute and then another way another minute. He was well respected in the county, and it was just...
And that's an even more helpless situation when somebody is a police officer, a pastor.
Call the cops.
Where do you go? But I don't want you to feel the need to have to explain yourself. I think Bianca is ignorant, and when I say ignorant, I don't mean dumb. Ignorant just means a lack of knowledge about something. If people use the word ignorant and they make it ugly, it just means a lack of knowledge. I'm ignorant about a lot of things. That's why I have therapists on this show, because I'm ignorant on certain things. But I think sometimes when we are ignorant of something, we tend to judge too fast. And it's something that I noticed with you with Top Model, even with, there was an autistic girl on Top Model, her name is Heather, and you didn't understand what she was going through, and you tend to attack. The same thing with Renee. I don't think you understand that you're doing it, but you do.